Serialization. It is one important question during the interview process. So what is serialization? It is persisting the state of the object. So that is called serialization. We have a serializable interface. We have to implement the serializable interface, whatever object you want to persist in a storage medium, or it can be passed through the network, or it can be used in the streaming or in the database side. Wherever it is wherever we are trying to persist or transfer the values, it has to be implemented from the serializable interface. So let's see with the examples. The first sample, I created a student object, a plain object which contains certain fields, and it is not implementing a serializable, and it is having a constructor, getters, setters, and the toString method. So when we trying to write the particular object, okay, let's see what is the error message we are getting it. So we are getting that it's not a serializable content, so it couldn't write it. So whenever the write object, it expects an object of a class which should be implementing the serializable interface. In serializable, we don't have any specific method. It's called a marker interface, so we cannot write the object which is not implementing the serializable. So now we can see another example. So here I created another class called student2, which implementing the serializable interface, and it is having the set of fields, prior constructor, getters and setters, and toString. So now if you see, we can able to see whether it can be written into a file or not. So yes, we can able to write into a file. So how we are writing it? We are using the object output stream. Object output stream is the constructor expecting a file output stream, and file output stream expects the constructor argument as a exact file path. So once the object output stream is created, we can call the write object method. So using the write object, we can persist the state of an object into a file, and now we will see how it can be read from the file. So we have an object input stream. So using an object input stream, we can call the read object method. So using the read object, it's return the object, and it can be typecasted into a specific whatever the target type, and we can see the content of the object. So now we can see what is whatever value we persisted, we can able to read it back. So the important thing that we have to implement from the serializable interface, and we no need to override any of the methods. So it is because since it's a marker interface, it doesn't have any methods to override it. Now we'll see there is another keyword called transient. So the transient keyword involved in the serialization process. What is a transient? So whatever field declared as a transient will not be persisted. See, now I created another object, and it is having a normal fields and a transient field. So whenever a field is declared as a transient, so now let's see how the transient can be written. So now we are successfully called the write object, and this object contained a transient field. Now we are trying to read the data back from the now if you see, the age field having a default value does not stored, or it is not persisted the entered value. So this is the usage of a transient. And the next one is that the important thing about the security. For example, I'm having an object, and it is implementing from a serializable, and I have a writer class and a reader class. So first thing what I'm doing is I'm just trying to execute this. So a writer is working. Now I'm trying to see whether the reader is working or not. Yes, the reader is also working. So what now I'm going to do, I'm going to change the content of the object. So content of the class. So I'm adding another field. So now I'm trying to read the object from the like a storage medium. It is like whenever we while writing the student 4 was different, and whenever we are reading it back it is something different because we modified certain contents on the class. Now let's see what is happening. See, now we'll get the error message that invalid or it's not compatible. It is happening because of the serial version UID. So how the serial version UID is working? So whenever we compile a class, automatically compiler takes care of the serial version UID, and whenever we recompile it again and again, it automatically changes. So whenever it read it back, it checks the serial version UID which is persisted and which is read back from the file. So it is not matching and we are giving the error message. And now we'll see there is another implementation. So in this implementation what we did is, like in this implementation we are having the serial version UID, means we are overriding or we are giving the field. So here we have a reader and writer class. First thing what I'll show, I'm trying to write the object. Yes, it is successfully written. Now I'm trying to read it. Yes, it's successfully, we are able to read it. But now I'm changing the content. I'm not updating the serial version UID, but I am trying to change the content. But I'm not updating the serial version UID. So if we execute the reader method again, we are able to read the content back without any problem, because the serial version UID is the same before writing it or after writing it. Like if we are modifying the serial version UID, we'll face the same issue. So while writing it was 1L. Now if I'm trying to read, the student 5 was something different. So we'll get the same problem. So here what are the things we did is, like what is a serializable interface and what is the usage of that, what is a transient, and what is a serial version UID, and it is important. Serial version UID is very important in case to compare whatever content we are reading it's at latest content or not, or whether it is matching with the version which is already written in the file or not. So that is the important thing.